What's going on? Welcome into TFEs podcast. Kelsey Riggs Cuff, Dalen Cuff. You have an evil smile going on right now.
Nothing. What are we wearing? Magenta Maven? What do we got going on here? What is this color?
Thank
What do
you
you
for
call it?
asking. This shirt I am so upset about. It's you know, I do my rentals. This is one of my rentals.
That's all you do, but go ahead.
That's all I do.
That's actually a good thing, I imagine.
I was going to say, I think it saves us a lot of money that I rent instead of buying clothes all the time.
I love
that
it.
I
Very
hardly
excited
ever
about it.
wear.
But you complain about not having clothes, but continue.
That's true. I do need to also buy some clothes. I'm wearing it on the pod because I rented it to wear. It is the most uncomfortable sweater.
Why are you wearing? Is it like itchy? Is one of those ones?
It's so itchy. My arms are probably going to be up like this the whole time. I have another white turtleneck on underneath it just to.
I mean, it looks good, but do you think it looks that good to be completely uncomfortable?
No, but I rented it, so I didn't want to not get wear out of it. I wanted to use it, and I already had it in the bag to send back, and I was like, oh, I can wear it on the pod today. So if you see me put my arm down and then put it back up, it's like, why would you even create something that is this uncomfortable?
Does it feel like burlap sacky? What are we dealing with here?
Yeah, it feels like, no, it feels softer than that. It just has like it, I mean.
This is the only time, but this is also a Seinfeld.
Wait,
Yeah, but it's a Seinfeld that you can reach out and touch somebody's material. But like, it's my wife, so yeah. It feels okay from
but
here.
put your hand on it. Put your hand on it just like gently.
That's what she said. Amazing.
No, it's not amazing.
I think it feels fine from here.
Okay, well, you're going to put it on afterwards.
Well,
which
I
would be
have there's a couple of sweaters I bought before. I don't rent anything, but when you touch it initially, I'm a big tactile with your clothes. Like this is ribbed.
My hand doesn't feel that bad.
Ribbed for her pleasure. This is the problem is I'll feel a lot of sweaters and they feel nice, but then you put them on, on your body, it's
like,
just a different
too
thing.
much.
Yeah,
but I feel like it should be a requirement that if someone is making a sweater, they put it on their body before actually
shockingly,
producing
I'm not sure that's how they're trying to turn a buck here.
I know. Sweater weather. The guys are outside getting all of our leaves.
They're doing work out there.
They are, and they come
Love
as soon as Dace goes to sleep every single time. I think we have to change that.
Can I tell you? God, it's two side notes here.
I mean, he is sleeping still. But.
I find do you not get my energy when you've mentioned it now 4 times in the last 12 minutes about calling them or asking them to change the time, and I've given you no strong response? Like, I'm not going to do it. If you want to call and ask them to come a different time, that's fine. But it's not, to me, it's like,
it's also
these guys are working a lot of like we can't. How do we know what their schedules? They have to come in the morning for our house. Like,
no,
who
we
knows
can
what's going
ask.
on?
I'm not gonna call and be a Karen and be like, you guys keep coming right when my son goes to sleep.
That's
But
exactly what you said.
Also, twofold. The other reason, half of our day is spent listening to Dace just say lawnmower, lawnmower, lawnmower. Every time a car goes by, a truck goes by, an actual lawnmower is nearby, anything that makes a noise. I would literally like sit on the front porch and just let him watch the lawnmower, and he would have the time of his life. And he misses it every week.
Well, tough break that he misses that, and it's cold out there, so he's not going to sit out there. But he can sit inside, I imagine.
Either way.
All right. Can I tell you just my manual labor, experience with leaves that I had when I moved here?
I didn't know you had any manual labor experience ever.
Well, when I first moved here, I was trying to be the house guy. I was trying to do stuff I dug up. In our old house, the front yard, they had to have there were just all these not just front yards, down by the streets, like a 10-foot space that ran. It was technically like my property that ran all along the street. That I had to till up the weeds that were there because we were gonna have roses put in stuff, and I was instead of paying them to do it, which was $1,500. It's the dead of summer. I was like, I'll do it. It's fine. I'm on an angle tilling things, and I mean it's rocking and rolling at the Home Depot. I went to Home Depot. I was doing all types of stuff.
You just rented one?
Yeah, you can rent one at Home Depot. It's great.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know what I was doing, but I was dying out there, and I was enjoying being outside. That's for another time. But it just an absolute disaster with what was going on there. I think it was the first full summer we lived there. So it was 2020. That's what it was. 2020. It was like, let's get me outside and do stuff.
Sure.
But prior to that was the fall of 2019. I also was just like, what do we do with all these leaves? And we had a big yard.
Wait, can we go back? You got a tiller, which is the thing that puts the holes in the ground, right?
You're asking the wrong dude.
That's why I'm curious. I thought it was the little thing that aerates.
Yeah. So but I was trying to, instead of putting holes to plant, you can reverse it to pull out stuff. So I'm pulling out these weeds that are
I don't think that's what it's for, but I could.
No, I've looked it up. And it worked. It was just horror. It was a lot of work because even though you're yanking them out, then you're pulling them out of that thing. But you have there were 6, not just weeds. It was plants and stuff. It was stuff we did not want there.
Okay.
And I had to get it out, but you had to leave soil in the thing.
Got it. Okay.
And it was just freaking brutal.
Not to question your manual labor.
If I recall correctly, it was 7 years ago, and the boy was less than happy, but he was out there tilling away. Prior to that, though, the fall before 2019, so it's first fall there. in the Northeast, first fall as a homeowner. So the lawn was big in the back. And in my head, too, I thought of like Lyra growing up and running around. It was a big flat space. And I used to think about, like as a kid, I used to assess people's lawns. Like, you're like, dude, that awesome lawn for football. Like, I'd love to be able to play football out there. Like, looked at people's houses purely for that from the ages of like 6 to 15. So I was just like, this could be really cool. And at that time, she's, less than a year old. I think she's going to be an athlete out there running around and playing all these things. Wrong. But I digress. But I let the leaves just keep falling and falling and falling. I'm like, all right, I got to go out there. I'm not kidding you. I got a leaf blower, and I bought one of those. I think we're going to need one of these. It was 2 feet high and like 20 yards long. I pushed them all to a pile. I'm like, what do I do now?
Did you bag them all?
No. I started bagging some, and I was like, this isn't going to work. I'm done. I went back in the house. I was like, I don't know what to do with this thing. I don't know. And it was like over the course like 4 or 5 days trying to continue to blow them and put them into bags. Finally, that was the beginning of being like, can I pay anybody to do this? But it was unreal. Like, I just looked out there a minute ago and saw them, and I'm like, they're doing some good work out there.
There's way more than I thought that we had right now.
And they're getting stuff done. I'm like, this is great. Great work by these guys.
Well, they have all the tools.
All the tools, the talent, and the time. I don't know. Any of those three, I did not have the time, but I had the tools or the talent. That's for sure. And I was like, it was a nightmare. And I remember looking out that window and being like, I don't care what the price is. I'm paying somebody to come get these leaves. It ended up being like 45 bags of leaves.
Oh,
it was
my God.
Unbelievable. And a family that we knew lived here in town told us this Russian guy, George or whatever, that just did it for like $400. Best $400 I ever spent.
I was going to ask how much you spent because I, when I lived in West Hartford, had a guy who cut the grass for the person of the house that I bought. So previously, so I connected with him. Ken, I hope you hear this. He was amazing. He was
I've heard about Ken.
Retired and just, he would cut my grass for $30. I didn't have a big yard. And then he would come do like a fall cleanup for me for like, I don't know, like $70 or something. We would talk Penn State football and just like, he was the best thing ever. And I actually like lawn work and yard work. I was going to say lawn, but I didn't have a lawnmower. I had my parents, I think it was my mom and I, that if I can find something and fix it, or I don't know, I like new things, but I also do love to pop in, back there was this big Habitat for Humanity. That was
oh yeah. You took me there one time. I was like, you're excited. Why are you excited?
And they have some cool stuff sometimes that you can find. And especially if you,
I think I was counting down the time to going to dinner, but anyway.
Yeah, you were. Well, there was, and it's funny because it's in Dace's lawnmower book that we have now. The one that is you push it and it just has the wheel that spins, and I didn't even know that was, and it chops.
It's old school, yeah.
We got one of those. I thought, if I ever have to cut my own grass, it didn't work. So thank God for Ken. These guys are very efficient, and thank God we don't have to do it ourselves right now.
No doubt.
My bigger thing is the winter, the snow. It's just, I think we need to buy a snowblower.
We are recording this on Thursday. Wednesday, November 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday was the first snow. It did snow yesterday, and it kind of accumulated on the trees and the leaves and the ground for 45 minutes.
But
that was a lot.
We can't be the neighbors anymore that have our neighbors coming over when we're out of town and being so kind and snow blowing our driveway. It's the greatest alert I've ever gotten on one of our cameras. They did our back deck. They did
camera
the
alert
whole
coming.
thing.
I'm trying to build up to it. You just jump my story there. I'm here to tell stories here. I don't know what you're doing. I'm here to talk. Not about feelings, just random shit. Here we go. We were out of town. It was sister's birthday. It was sister's wedding, I think, in February.
February, maybe.
I think that's what it was. We get an alert somebody's on our back deck. I look and I'm like, is that Dave?
Is that Dave?
He's out there grinding, just shoveled the whole front walkway, whole back walkway. And granted, it's not it's not a long space. Didn't care.
Way more than you would do.
Well, absolutely. He did the same thing for Jack though. And Jack does have a long walkway and a long driveway. And I was blown away.
You have the best neighbors. We
did talk about this separately about the fact that you said I needed to give him a present. Still never got him a gift. But
we suck.
We're terrible. But thank you, Dave. You're amazing. And that's I would never do that. But we don't need a blower. We don't need a full snowmobile. We don't have snowblower. We don't have enough space for that.
You can get just a little push snowblower. Listen, I'm not going to pretend.
I don't think we need, it's not that long a space. So, our driveway's really short.
But you've literally never, we lived here a whole winter and you never pulled the snow, what's it called? Shovel out one.
We only got the shovel toward the end of the season.
No, we had it.
What?
It was always here.
I thought we were the only family in the Northeast without a shovel in the house.
When I moved into my house in West Hartford, the guy left a couple things behind. when I bought it. And so I go in the garage. There were 3 snow shovels. I was like, oh no, what's about to happen? What am I about to experience?
You know what's up?
And it was needed. Although I didn't. I had somebody that did the snow there. Hopefully we don't have to actually deal with that for a little while. Although Lyra was beyond excited to see the snow.
That would make it at least more enjoyable if like she really like. I would go like sled riding type stuff. Like that's fun. But like just like standing out there and like.
Have you been sledding?
Yeah, like a million times.
Okay, well I never had.
Ever?
I never had
Well, that's right.
ever.
Yes, Charleston. No.
And
did you ever go skiing or anything in that
I've
realm?
never been skiing. I've never been snowboarding, and I think I would love it. I'm scared now after I tore my ACL.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna hurt yourself.
Is
Don't
it
do
worth it?
No, definitely not for you.
But and I know it's different because it's water and ice and snow. But like I loved water skiing and wakeboarding, and I did a little bit of slalom skiing, although I wasn't good at that, but I at least tried it. Anyways, I loved that, so I always wanted to.
What's the slalom water skiing?
Yeah, it's one.
Oh, I didn't call that a slalom. Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. Anyways, so when I moved up here, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to ski and try these different things. I still haven't, but so a couple of winters ago, Christine and I.
Oh, this must have been interesting. Talk about the blind leading the blind.
She had never been either.
That's what I'm saying.
It was a big snow. We found a hill. We went with Carly as well. Carly had the little things that you sit in to go down the thing. It's not a sled. It's
the word you're looking for is a sled. Yeah,
it's not an actual sled though. This was looked like we were sitting on an upside down.
The saucers?
Frisbee. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Saucer, right?
And it was like the 3 of us. I think Gary came and met us for the end because we had our little West Hartford cruise. So we texted everybody that we were going to do it. I think he got there late after work or something. Anyways. Mostly Christine and I because we had never done it before. And maybe 20 middle schoolers and their moms.
Yeah.
I could not move for at least 5 days because my abs hurt so bad from laughing. We were dying. And it was embarrassing because then a little bit the kids and the moms look at us and be like, what are you doing? But we had never, it was so fun.
Probably think you're
never
drunk.
done.
Yeah.
I know. And we weren't. We were just high on life getting to experience it for the first time. I would definitely do that. I would love.
Sledding's a ton of fun. I used to go on some hills that were legitimately dangerous.
And there's some things that are driving distance from here. Our neighbors over here, they go for a weekend trip and go skiing. And
that's skiing. That's you can go right past work and there's a ski that's the one they're talking about, the end of Route 8. This is way too inside baseball for the audience that cares about this.
And me, I don't know where anything is.
Which is no surprise. It's like an hour and 15 minutes away. Yeah. You could go right up there. But I'm talking about just sledding itself is fun. Problem here is you got to know where hills are. Where's a good spot to go? I think over by the baseball field. Anyway, long story short, we should do it. It would be fun. That's way more enjoyable than you being let's walk outside in the snow for 10 minutes. And then everybody's got to get all dressed and we walk outside, we roll in the snow for a minute, and then we're done. Like that.
The kids had a great time. I don't know what you're talking about.
They did. I just, I don't know if you need me out there for that.
We do. We do. We always need you. Anyways, didn't expect to do all that. I guess those were our thoughts. Winter is coming.
No, that wasn't really, but it is.
You have any other TFEs you want to share? Thoughts, feelings, emotions?
Well, I did just get back from doing the career day at Lyra School, telling them about my job and whatnot, which was cool. It's always fun, Lyra. It's just such a different experience for her than I had, having your, and she is happy, and those kids are. If your dad is there and they're telling their thing, and all the kids, the whole grade is asking all these questions, and some of them are really cute and not questions. They just want me to know their dad likes the Eagles. Okay, have you ever been? My dad really likes UConn. Then the follow up was, have you been to a UConn game? I was like, oh yeah, we went on Monday.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was cool. But it's also it's a it's like a resetting, just a perspective thing, explaining your story or what you do to little kids versus adults. I feel like in our business, people ask a lot, how did you end up here? What did you do? Why did you, the opportunities, whatever. And you tell your story and it becomes, something you've done 50, 60 times to different, maybe more. And some of those on podcasts and interviews and all this other stuff. It's like a formalized thing. This is what I did. But telling little kids it is a very different thing. And then hearing their questions and their perspective on just life at 6 and 7 years old and jobs and what mommies do and daddies do. I was cool. And I felt like it was a heartwarming, fun exercise. I feel like a lot of times when you do those things, you're doing it for the class or for the kids, but you get out of it way more. You get out a ton of it too. I left there feeling energized by them and an optimism. And there's it was a fun morning and I didn't know what it was going to be like or how it was going to go or how engaged the kids would be. And it was, every kid's raising their hand over and over again, which is cool. And it's just like that vibe was left me in a very positive, but like an interesting like perspective, mood with them.
That's good. Usually you go thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So sorry, I thought you were going to keep going.
Sorry, that was basically more the feelings and emotions, I guess.
Yeah. I think that's cool. I was excited that you were able to do it, especially just because on the few times that we've gotten to go to school and do things together when we read for Lyra's birthday and stuff. She's just so excited to, have you there and to see that, and then to get to talk about your career too is cool because for me it's been fun to like watch how it never gets old for her to see you on TV.
You say that, I'm not to cut you. That was the only bummer is I couldn't. I asked him, asked her teacher, do you want me to kind of put together a little video or something? Because sometimes you say, what's a sports broadcast? Or some kids, as I started it, some kids know, some kids don't. It's easy to turn and show them, like, this is it. And the only thing I really wanted to show was the end. It was a couple clips of what I do, but then it was Lyra sitting on the Sports Center set, Lyra and my mom there with one set, Lyra behind the scenes. And then Lyra, where you had her, like she was watching me, and you would just put record as she like saw me on TV and ran over there, and her level of excitement. I think that was part of what my spiel was going to be, and it was part of it too. Is the fact that Lyra can know and understand what I do, but also take part in it in person and come to games or come to the studio, and literally take part just by watching and knowing where I'm at, what I'm doing. Which, for my dad, I didn't have that, and I didn't really understand what he did. It didn't make much sense to me. I don't know what was going on. And that was always like a weird thing. You're gone a lot, you're busy, but I don't know what you do. I don't really understand it. Having that like tangible understanding and her excitement behind it is something I wanted like to share with her class. It was she did it because she kind of articulated some of the things as she sat next to me, but it's just different when you see her in her natural element run over the screen and start jumping up and down.
Yeah, she gets so excited, which I'm sure one day we'll like dull out, but right now it's something that she's always so excited for every time that we
why's it gotta dull out?
Well, I don't know. I think that like when you talk to people in the business that I am friends with that their kids get older, it's like yeah cool, like your mom and dad are on TV.
They always say, I guess that's the difference, like they always say like when I say I'm thinking SVP has gone into this with me pretty much at length in different ways, and but like they don't care that you may be an important, well-known, famous person. It just does not matter to them. Which that part. And I'm not famous, but if that ever, like at any level that mattered, like I don't think she would care about that. I think she is excited that like she can see me. Like, and I when you say dull out, yes, I'm sure she was not going to be jumping up and down, but I don't know, just in her nature, it seems like she may still just like, I don't know, what's daddy doing? Oh, let's turn on the TV and see him for a minute.
Yeah, I don't think she's not ever going to be like excited to still turn it on and watch us. I just don't know that she's going to be like waving at the screen. But we'll have,
I don't think that's going to happen.
We'll have like 6 more years of Dace being excited after that, since he's I guess 5.5 years younger than her. Anyways,
he knows when he sees you now. He understands what's going on.
He knew when he saw you that day, and then when soccer came on, he was like, "Oh no! Like, why is the video there? Where did Daddy go?" And that's probably why he kicks the ball the way that he does now, from watching soccer. Cool. Yeah, I was glad that you were able to do that too. My thoughts, feelings, emotions. We got out a lot about my itchy sweater and the weather outside.
It's frightful.
Feelings and emotions, I feel pretty good. I mean, I'm tired. I feel like I'm a broken record on that. That's just like rinse and repeat. But I don't know. Above all, like, I'm excited that we are both home today, because I think I know that we have some busy work days coming up. So kind of like a reset to figure out what we need to do outside of work and here at home in life. But I don't know. I feel pretty good. I feel pretty just optimistic about where we are, and as much as like you're the planner for plans, I feel like sometimes I'm the household planner. What needs to happen here? I've gotten like 3 loads of laundry done already today. I don't know, I just feel like I'm in a good space and a good headspace, and part of that is probably the perspective that I think I've tried to have this week, which is something that we were going to talk about. I don't know when I brought it up to you, and I've thought about it a lot. Just, we've shared some of the reasons that this year has been hard. We haven't shared all of them yet, but I think as we got closer to the end of the year, like it's November now, which is wild.
That's crazy, man.
It had me thinking more about like this past year. And I remember so vividly at the end of last year, just all the times that I said, like, how could we ever top this year? The best year ever. We're engaged. We had a baby, like all of these things. And then like we didn't top it in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Just because it's been so challenging. And so I think I was kind of reflecting on that, maybe on one of my drives and just thinking about it. And then the other morning I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, the house is a mess. I have this huge pile of laundry that I need to fold from when mom and dad were here, just different sheets and towels and stuff that we had. And some of it was from when we all got the sickness and everything, got the stomach bug. And there were like 10 things running through my mind. And I was laying in bed. You had gotten up with Dace that morning. And I was like, God, I gotta get up and do all of this. And I just remember thinking, okay, you have to stop thinking like that. Like, it's not, I have to do this. It's like, I get to do this. I get to fold the laundry because I have parents that care enough to come up and spend time with us and our children. And now I get to do those things. I get to have a job that allows me some flexibility where I get to talk about sports and drive back and forth and have time to catch up with friends. Although it's, because other times I'm like, oh, it's a 2-hour drive, round trip, 2 more hours away from the family. No, I get to figure out how I use that time. I get to go to work at a place that I once dreamed would I ever be able to be at. I get to live this life with you. I get to have a messy house because we have kids that are running around and creating chaos. Like all of these things that I have been waking up and going like, I have to do this today. I have to do this. I have to do this. I'm like, I have got to change my mindset to, I get to do this, because there's so many people that, would kill to have the opportunity or the life that we do. And there was a version of me that would have killed to have the opportunities in the life that I have now. And it's so hard when you've gone through hard things, I feel like, or you're in a tough season or a challenging time, to have that perspective. But every time I find myself being a little negative about anything, I'm trying to say like, okay, I get to do this versus I have to. Like, what is the get to? And so maybe that's why my TFEs are a little more uplifted today.
I thought it was just the laundry you did. Honestly, that is a profound effect on you. I think when you brought up the other day, I'm like, that's a really good point. Perspective is huge, and having like a positive twist to the challenges in life, or to the good things. Like look, maybe just sitting in those sometimes more often is helpful. I definitely struggle with this. This is not my strong suit. The get to phrase I think is helpful for me, because there is a lot of like, I have to do this, I have to do this, and I don't look at why I'm having to do it. What is the good part? Like this afternoon, like I definitely need to have to watch like 3 or 4 games. I got to catch up on some games that I need to see. Well, it's because I get to start a new role with NBC on Saturday. First time I'll be in their studio. That's exciting. That's new. That's an opportunity. I'm looking forward to it. Like looking at it that way versus, I got to do this stuff. I have to do it. And always being positive, I guess, in it. I had a similar experience on perspective. It was a little different, but just how, few in the world. I was talking to one of my former coaches last week, and he had lost his mom a couple weeks prior, and we were talking briefly about that, and he just made the point that he's like, hey, she lived, I think he said she was 82, which is will be my mom's age next year, January 2nd. So he was just like, he's like, she had a great full life and did all these things, and he's like, I talked to her every day, the last like 15 years or so, and I'd usually after practice or whatever, 10-15 minutes, just check in, and that's the hard part, is that's gone now. And I was like, And for some reason, that really sat with me, because I think at times you can take any people for granted, or our lives for granted, or whatever it may be, and not prioritize things are really important. And him just being like, yeah, I missed that. That every time I get in my car now the last couple weeks, it's felt weird. And like, that's really hard. And it's like, all right, like that landed with me a lot in terms of how I should view, particularly my relationship with my mom, but other things too. Like what are we prioritizing in terms of connecting with people and maintaining relationships and spending the time of, like, I really should call my mom. No. You get to call your mom. Like, this is great. Like, call mom. Like, that's great. Like, that should be a fun, enjoyable 5, 10, 2 minutes, whatever it may be, for her and for you. And beyond that, that's not just that. I think that hit home just with me in that example. But to your point, I think it's a broader a broader thing. And I think it also just more broadly with relationships, especially as we get into holiday time, things are so busy. But that's one thing I appreciate about that time is like we do tend to try to find time to meet with, at least see people, make efforts to like maintain those relationships. And the hassle of traveling is a pain in the ass. Getting anywhere around this area in the holidays is brutal, but it's all worth it. Even if we're there for a couple hours, or if it's a couple days, if we're traveling out of state, like those are things like we get to do in our life and our jobs have afforded us the opportunity to do that.
The holidays is a good thing to bring up because I feel like we can get so inundated with the like just everything that comes along with the holidays, whether it's the travel, whether it's the family, whether it's planning for kids, whether it's, you know,
the presents
and making it magical. And there's like a lot of pressure that I think that we put on ourselves around the holidays. And let's be honest, like holidays for a lot of people are really hard.
Yeah.
You know, because it magnifies, I think if you've had loss or, you know, you thought you would be at a different place in your life at that time. I feel like any milestone can be hard after loss, because then you're like, okay, I thought when I had this Christmas, I was going to be with XYZ people, and now that hasn't happened, or my family was going to look like this. So I feel like those milestones kind of amplify loss. And so the holidays are hard for a lot of reasons. But yeah, even just the good reasons that we sometimes lose ourselves in, with the decorations and the presents and the travel and the planning. And like you get so lost in all of that A, you forget the meaning of actual Christmas and the holidays. And then B, you kind of like lose the magic of it sometimes too. I loved our Christmas last year. I had so much fun with the kids. And that was like something I had dreamed about for a long time, which is getting to like have that kind of experience. And it'll be, you know, even more fun this year because Dace will at least be a participant. He won't understand any of it, but you know, he'll like be excited to see different things versus just being like a little potato. And we'll have to do it differently this year because we don't have Lyra on actual Christmas. But yeah, that's a good point with the get to of holidays as well, because I feel like it's really easy to kind of get stuck in all of the other things and lose sight of like what actually matters around that time.
The honest is part of why Thanksgiving is always my favorite holiday. Holiday is based on eating and family. Like there's no other stuff that goes into it. Traveling is hard. Getting there can be hard. Getting back can be hard. But there's no other pressures. And I've always loved it. I was like, the simplicity of it is pretty amazing. Now, I think we'll probably talk about next week, like our Thanksgiving is going to look different, but I'm excited about what it'll be. But yeah, I think that's with especially with Christmas. It's weird because like when we decorate for Halloween, like I'm not a big Halloween person.
Me neither.
And there's other holidays.
I think it's just like the spiders and the death and the scary. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be excited to put like a tombstone outside my house. That ain't me. I'm not excited about death.
Well, that's ironic. Lyra is scared at everything. So she loves that. Yeah, loves Halloween, loves decorating for Halloween. But like, you don't like anything scary.
Yeah, but we have like little like fake dinosaur looking blow up things that we hang out outside that look like Dace and Lyra.
They're very non-scary. But I actually enjoy like the decorating part of Christmas, the traditions around Christmas, for eggnog for some, almond nog for others. Those little things, the music, like I love that part. Like I really feel the season. I've enjoyed that in the last couple of years. That you know, like I said, I wasn't always like that. I think I still grew to appreciate that, and look forward to that time of year for that. The twist is of the other side of it is the commercialization and presence of it of. With Lyra, I feel like with her birthday, I'm more cognizant of that. I'm sure we, you know, more cognizant with Dace now that he's, you know, he already has a lot of stuff and there's more stuff. I really would love for us to get to a point where we're not like stressing over those things. It's like a couple things, as Kelsey eye rolls immediately. You're an obsessive gift giver, an over the top gift giver. And I realize my birthday is like 4 days away. I've said don't really get me much or get me anything. Not sure that's going to be abided by, for monetary reasons and for other reasons. But like, I just don't think that's, you said, what's the holiday about? Like when we make it all about the presents, it puts the pressure on the adults and it makes it all it is for the kids. And I just, the presence of us being there, you say that all the time, we want your presents, not your presents. That is why I've like really connected with Christmas in the last couple of years, partially because going through that transition of separation, divorce, like what's my life going to look like? And had some really hard Christmases, and then, you know, starting to rebuild our life together and see what's going to be going forward. There is a depth of gratitude and being grateful for what our world looks like and what our Christmases will look like going forward. Even though Lyra's not there every year in the same place, which is hard. It's like the fact that we and we are, doing our thing, I think is what I would love for that holiday to be about. I realize it's hard, but that's like my hope.
Yeah, it is hard. I mean, for me, I'm always going to. I love Christmas. I love the magic behind it. I love how magical it was for me growing up. I love the meaning behind it, and the traditions that we had going to church on Christmas Eve, and we would do a live manger scene outside, and sing some hymns and some Christmas carols, and then go back home. We would open one present, and then we would have Christmas the next morning, and our Christmas was insane. Because we, on my dad's side, were the only little grandkids and nieces and nephews. And then on my mom's side, it was cousins and chaos everywhere. And so we did all of it. Like my mom's side of the family and my dad's side of the family came over in the morning. Then we went to their house in the afternoon. Then we went to Mama and Papa's at night. So, I mean, it's like a marathon holidays there.
Yeah.
But it was so fun and it was so magical. Now the meaning of it is something that I always will continue to share with the kids, and I don't want what Christmas is actually about to ever not be prioritized and lost in it. But
there's a big preamble about but in presents, I think, coming here.
But we're gonna have presents.
Well, have is one thing. Excess is different. And now I feel like we've co-opted this into a holiday celebration episode, which we probably are gonna do in a more. We probably should do later in December. But yeah, I get your point.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the in excess in some regards, because I look around and I'm like, what the hell are we going to do with all these things? We have so many toys right now that
Lyra has so many things she's never played with.
I know, but still, it's so fun to look it up, to go down there and open everything and just to see it all. I don't know, Don. I don't know. You're not gonna. Well, you're probably.
I think we've been real targeted.
No,
I
you're
didn't.
not gonna win this year.
It's real
probably.
targeted about what we get her specifically. I forget that him too. What we get them that they're really going to be excited about and really use and play with, not just random
what the bigger
stuff.
thing is though, I want to make sure, and I've said this for a long time, and I used to do a little bit of it, but I want to do a better job of it. And we talked to Lear about it a lot, about other families and giving back. I want there to, outside just the religious meaning of Christmas and the holidays, I want our family to have something meaningful that is part of our tradition that we do for another family. Whether it is a soup kitchen, whether it is the angel tree and adopting a family, whether it is whatever it is, I crave that and I want that. And it's so silly to say I crave it because I have the ability to just go out and do it. But again, in the madness of the holidays, then it falls through the cracks. I want that to really be something, because we are very lucky that we grew up with the families that we did and the situations that we did, and having the magic of the holidays and the family and just the camaraderie and all the things that come with that. But there's so many people that didn't, and don't. So I want us to figure out what that is and what that looks like moving forward and how we actually execute that. 'Cause to me, if we're going big on Christmas, but we're also going big on giving, because that's why I do it. It's not just that, I find joy. I stress in gift giving because I'm like, what am I going to get everybody? But it's I'm so excited to give people gifts. I love to receive gifts too, but I just like to make people happy.
Yeah, you're a little people pleaser.
I just nodded.
Sweet, sexual, snotting everywhere. Nothing better. No, I mean, I guess if I have a really good gift or experience I can provide to somebody, I get it. I like that a lot. Maybe I'm just not a very good gift giver. I think
you're a pretty good gift giver.
I don't know. That's funny for you saying that. I think you didn't even get a gift from me last Christmas because I got something you didn't. Not you didn't like it. You thought it was too similar to something else. You were going to go back and get something else, and you never did.
I know.
So, inherently, that's a very expensive non-gift.
It was the same color and style as the one that I had already.
I did consult Chandler. That was her pick. So thank you very much, Chandler.
Chandler.
So I think I feel you on that. I just think especially for kids, I think it's different. I think some adults, obviously everybody appreciates different things. What I'm thinking, like, what is really targeted about getting things they really will like or enjoy or further educate them, or something that's like a little more than, hey, she likes mermaid, let's get this mermaid thing. Like, she got a lot of mermaid shit. All right, do we need more mermaid stuff?
Maybe.
If it's it's got to be like something that she's really wanted and put on a list and talked about, versus like, this is an additional mermaid thing that again gets excited about and it's thrown on the side whenever we're doing anything with. I do think part of that is going through her stuff and for like a toy drive thing, or like,
we did that before. It didn't go that well, but
we'll have to talk to her about it more. Like, this is an important part of the season and why we're doing this. You're not giving up stuff. You're going to get more.
Here's the thing,
but there's a lot of people that don't have anything.
Here's the thing with her. We did that before. She's a girl after my own heart. Because as we've noted on previous pods, I've got like love notes from like fourth grade
from
still.
Frank from third grade. Like, why do we care Frank in third grade for?
I got those from fourth grade still. My girl will be like, yeah, but Kels, this is the first Easter egg that you and I ever colored on. But remember this Christmas train? This is the first Christmas train. Daddy got me this and we built it together. And I was like, actually, remember you and I built that? She's like, oh yeah, me and you built that one together. It's very special. I'm like,
she's a sentimental lady. She's got her stuff. Doesn't know who did it with. She knows things happen. She's got stories.
Okay,
I'm not messing with those.
I understand the sentimental tie. I'm right there with you, my girl.
That's different than the terrarium that's never been opened. All right, that's whatever that's a little terrarium thing.
Some
like
of that's on us though, because we just have to make time to do it. Be like, hey,
I'm aware.
Remember that this is here.
I know, but when you so many things, that's my point. All right, let's just cull this thing down a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Sorry, I don't know how we got on this. I know I put us on this.
We get to do Christmas. That's why we got it. The other thing that I was thinking.
Sorry. What? Oh, that's what I was going to ask you real quick. Total side note. I want to sing White Christmas. It's in my head. You going to keep going? I
thought you were.
This is my point. This is my question to you, because you mentioned church and you mentioned singing some songs. You're a great singer.
Thank you.
Great. Other than Lyra, everybody else agrees with that too. Everybody agrees with that. What I want to ask is,
all
when you're
I care
with
is that Lyra thinks that I'm a good singer.
I think she's just so nice. That girl's
she's
heart
not.
is so sweet.
She's not. She's not so nice when it comes to that. She'll be honest. She'll tell me other things if I'm not good at them.
I think she feels so bad for you.
No, she doesn't. She thinks I'm a good singer. She'll say it unprompted. I am a good singer.
Wait, you really think you're a good singer? Oh. This is a real question. I thought this was like an open joke. You're a good singer?
I mean, I'm not a good singer, but I'm not terrible.
Okay. All right. You know, everybody's ear is different. I don't know.
You think I'm terrible?
I feel like that's why you always turn your music up, want to turn certain songs up so loud.
Because I need to hit a different octave.
You don't hit up. You just scream song. You just, you're just screaming.
You have to like open your throat and let the octaves come out.
It's actually not at all how you're supposed to sing. It's from the diaphragm. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, my point in this question was, and now clearly the answer is going to be no, but is there any more judgment-free zone than church and people singing in church?
Wait, I'm so glad you brought this up.
Because I feel like, if you're there trying to express and connect with the Lord and connect with those around you in communion, like I remember being a kid being like, man, that guy's a terrible singer. But you can't like say anything. But I knew who was people around us. And let's be real. Occasionally, my dad would make a comment too afterwards, like, man, that lady behind us, she was tough. But they're belting it out, and you can't judge in that moment. But you were definitely thinking it. So
you're one with the Lord.
I imagine you're one with the Lord there. You guys are belting it out.
Well,
you think you're a good singer, so I don't know what's going on.
I am, but you just wait until you do Christmas Eve with Chandler.
Is Chandler be belting it out?
I was bad. I can't. Maybe I don't know if I was just doing it to be funny. This is bad, but or if maybe like maybe Brian wasn't there that Christmas or something. So I was sitting in church, and like Chandler loves a Christmas hymn on Christmas Eve service. I was sitting there in church, and I had my phone in my lap, and Chandler was
Why were you on your phone in church?
No, I wasn't. But Chandler was singing her little heart out next to me. So I had my phone on my lap, and I flipped the camera open, and I recorded it like this.
You guys are the worst. I just said, this is a judgment-free zone. You're literally in the Lord's house, just judging the crap out of your sister.
Dalen.
Also, while you're not a good singer, let's just call a spade here. Come on.
So she sees it, and we start cackling, and we can't stop laughing. And then mom is looking at us like, what is the issue? And then we show mom, and mom's crying laughing too, because I got this. It is like, we talk about it every year now, because like we haven't been able to be together every Christmas and Christmas Eve since we've gotten older. And we were older when that happened too. But oh my God, we crack up. So then now it's like a tradition. If one of us isn't there, then when we're in Christmas Eve service, we'll record like a little video of us like just singing, belting out the song and send it to whoever's not there. Oh my God, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I mean, Chandler, I think she thinks that she's like Mariah Carey when those songs hit.
Apparently you think you are too. I don't know. I'm like blown away by this
like
response.
Alicia Keys.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I'm not Alicia Keys. I actually think Alicia Keys.
Don't do
is
this.
she better than Mariah Carey?
Don't do that. Pure vocals? No, I would say Mariah Carey is a better vocalist. But Alicia played the piano, while like composed a lot of her songs. Not saying Mariah didn't. People wrote her stuff more often.
Yeah. I don't know. Something about the way her voice hits just.
Are you insulting Mariah Carey's voice right now?
Maybe.
I think if you go a list like it's like Whitney, Mariah, it's like really freaking close, and it's like they're in their own, they're in a different echelon.
But Alicia's up there too. You don't think she is?
As I said, as a vocalist, I think she's a really an amazing voice, but. And I think in recent years, it's definitely different. You've heard her live. It's definitely, she sounds different. When she was younger, I think she was better vocalist. But from a musician standpoint, I would argue she would be a better full musician, composition, the instrumentation, and the voice. But just pure, belting it out. You are in some weird territory if you're insulting Mariah Carey's voice.
I'm not actually insulting her. You're trying to make it inflammatory, like I'm insulting her.
It sounded like we have it taped. That you don't know this is on. That's how you're like, is she a good singer? No, I believe you pondered that.
I said I was saying, is she better than? I was comparing Alicia Keys to Mariah, because I was about to say I think Alicia's better than Mariah, and then I was like, do I agree with that? Now, some of those octaves that Mariah hits, I could never even dream about comprehending in my brain, but some of them are very high, and maybe I just prefer, I don't know, the like low rasp of my girl Alicia, because it's a little bit more. You know what?
In your register
in the car.
Yeah, absolutely. You connect with her.
Just kidding. That's not really how I sing, you guys.
I want to let you sing. You should tell the people. Let's go. You gotta crank the music up. That's the sign of a really good singer. You have to you turn the music up really, really loud, and then scream it, and that's a good sign of a good singer. Yeah,
but I do that even when I'm alone in the car. It's not like I don't want you to hear me. It's just like that's how I enjoy it more. I'm telling you, it like frees my voice up more.
But if you're a good singer, you shouldn't need the music.
Well, I didn't say
you can just let it go.
I didn't say I needed it. I said I liked it. I didn't say I was a good a cappella singer.
Oh, we're qualified. I can't. I'm really there. Let's learn about our partner. This is new. I didn't know you thought you were a good singer.
I don't actually think I'm a good singer. I said that.
I find it interesting.
I don't think that like dogs like bark when I sing, but I don't think that I'm good.
Okay. The film tells the opposite. When I first said it, you looked at me like, "Whoa, you're really questioning my singing ability?"
Do you think you're a good singer?
I am average at best. I don't think I'm a good singer at all. I don't think I'm awful, but I'm not a good singer.
Do you guys know why he like probably is kind of a good singer? Because he says he's average at best. Like if you just are like, no, I'm not good, then you're like, okay. You are an okay singer.
I just said average. What is another word for average?
Well, I think you're above average.
Well, thanks, babe. Appreciate that.
Which is why you're being humble about it. You think I'm below average, and I would say I'm average.
You are excellent at many, many, many a thing.
You don't even think I'm an average singer?
You are excellent at many, many, many a thing. But I'm sorry, I think you're a below average singer. I don't know what else to tell you.
Damn.
I'm sorry. I'm right there with you. I'm not saying I'm any good. So maybe it takes one to know one.
You said average and you said I'm below average. Okay, I don't know how we recover from this, so maybe we should move on.
Sweet. I can't wait to talk about this after the pod. I can't wait to listen to this music. Turn on somebody go downstairs. Let you do your thing.
What do you want me? What do I have to sing?
I've heard you. I don't need you to say. I want you to feel freed up, though. I want you to make sure you can have your best performance. I don't know what you tell me.
Well, maybe it's because I have notes.
That affects singing for sure.
Notes, right?
Notes, yeah.
I took I had to take like voice therapy, speech therapy classes because I found out that I talked with the wrong muscles in my throat.
So you think you fix it?
No.
Oh.
Absolutely not.
I think
I did for a little while, but it's why I lose my voice.
So in our business,
these muscles are always strained because yes, I do know what you're talking about. You're supposed to use these and not this, but I use with this, and you're supposed to speak more with the front of your throat. You realize
it's an audio medium too. When you keep saying this and touching your body, people don't know what's going on.
Oh well, that just makes it more sexual if they don't know what part of my body I'm touching when they're listening, right?
People are erect for sure. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. That was aggressive. Well, that took a turn.
That's just shit aroused. What do you want? Both parties can be. I don't want to be sexist in my inappropriate commentary.
I'm just
My
touching
bad.
my head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
There you go.
Okay. Should we do our letter?
Can I give you a feeling about this first? So
Sure.
what this is. So like, what do you want to set up? What this is?
Yeah. So, in my hands, I am holding
In my hands.
a letter that is addressed to Dalen and Kelsey Cuff. That is written in my handwriting because I wrote this letter.
Feels like Back to the Future.
We wrote this letter 3 months ago to ourselves when we were at that amazing Miraval retreat. And one of the options that they give you and they tell you with your check-in and with the journal they give you are here's a blank piece of paper. Before you leave, write a letter to yourself, goals, thoughts on being here, whatever you want it to be, and give it to us, put it in this sealed envelope, and before you leave, hand it to us, and we will mail it back to you in 3 months, which is, I think, an awesome idea. So we did it. I thought it was 2 months. So the other day I was like, why hasn't this showed up yet?
You thought about this?
Yeah. I was
Wow.
like, wow, our letter hasn't come in.
That's cool.
Because I was thinking, I'm like, what did I write? And like, have I done any of the things I said I wanted to do? And, I don't remember everything that I said. But yeah, so we have the letter. Give me your feelings.
My thoughts are, wait, I'm impressed that you like remembered this. And when you walked in today, you go, do you recognize his handwriting? I was like, is it yours? You're like, yeah.
That surprises me that you're like surprised I remembered it. I'm like the most sentimental, like words matter. Leave me a note. And here's this love note that I wrote to myself of what I wanted to do. And you think I forgot about it?
Tell me you're not getting something from your husband without telling me. I wrote a love note to myself. Sorry. I'm going to get better. I got to be more consistent.
Birthday's coming up.
Bought
too.
flowers the
I
other
gotta
day.
get
That was
flowers.
something, I
You
think.
did.
I don't know.
You came home with flowers. That was good.
I'm going to get better with the writing. Yeah, not good. Okay. Anyway. So yes, my thoughts are, I am a little surprised you remembered it and like were that like excited about it. I feel really like, not apprehensive, but I feel like I'm really wondering what I put in that because it was a great testament to that place and being in a space and time and being present for like 48 hours, and we were there for 49. And the last hour so we were leaving, I got my phone and it was something with work and this thing, and I quickly spiraled right into a different mode. And you could see how like I feel like my whole demeanor, everything was different. I was ready we were going to leave anyway. Let's just go, blah, blah, blah. And you walk out and say, hey, we're supposed to. They give us this and they'll mail it to us. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm not there. My head's not there. So I pushed back. You said we were doing it. And I was like, all right, well, I'll do it then. And I definitely didn't give it much thought. My handwriting, what you see, is going to be absolutely atrocious because it was just scribble, I think. I almost feel like a little like shame. Like I haven't read it. I'm just like, what were you doing? Like this is the whole point of this place was to, in the last moments, you couldn't hold true to the moments and the place that it was, just to the end. And I don't care what else came up. But I know I looked at my phone when the whole thing is that stuff's really not that important. And that incident, that back and forth was literally of zero import. Zero. And I'm not saying this letter is of major import, but staying there and being present and actually like trying to give it some more thought and finishing off the whole trip in the proper manner was a missed opportunity, I think. And I think whatever I wrote, I hope it has some real reflection, a real application to right now. But I didn't write it in like a real reflective, thoughtful state, I don't think. And that I feel like I said, a little shamed, a little bothered, a little annoyed, a little like mad at myself for how that went down. So when you showed me that letter downstairs earlier today, I had like a very different reaction. I was like, oh man, like I wasn't excited. I was a little bummed.
That's interesting. I think it's a good learning experience for both of us in that regard too. Not to pile it on, but in honest, like the spirit of being honest. And as we're talking about this, I am not
spirit of being me telling you're a bad singer, being honest.
Yeah, I am not. I don't remember everything that I wrote by any means. But I do feel like where you were rubbed off on me because I knew you weren't really into it and you were ready to go. And so, especially when you finished yours way before I finished mine, like, okay, let me wrap up my thoughts as I'm trying to say here. That's not a you problem because, you can't let your partner affect you anyways. But,
It's a me problem too, but go ahead.
But the honesty is, I don't know. I think I probably could have gotten even more like reflective and introspective in this too. The other thing that just dawned on me as I've been saying that I'm excited to read this is the day that we wrote this was the day that we were supposed to have the baby. So that was the actual due date, which is still hard to say. So I know that when we were writing it, I was in a much different like headspace that day, and we were about to come back and see Day. So I was excited about that. But I don't think I had thought about the emotions of that too until just now. So we're not going to read him aloud for the class because they are personal. But we were talking before. I think what we do is, I think we read it and then we'll just kind of adjust the podcast to just kind of give some reflection on the other side of it.
Okay. As we're not going to read them aloud, but what are you feeling?
I think I still feel sad just, looking back on this and knowing where we were then and where we are now, and it'll always be hard in different ways, even when it's not hard every day and it's not hard in every moment. That's where mine started with. I don't mind reading parts of it. I hope over the next few months you continue healing and continue to move through the grief, the whys, to move through the grief and the whys to growth into thank yous. So I was happy to see that because I feel like we've talked a lot about gratitude and the thank yous, and even right now, not knowing what we were going to, like saying the get to, I feel like that's part of it. So I'm glad to see that we did and have done that. It just makes me emotional because of what it was. And, like I said, timelines are, I think when there's loss, when there's loss, having a timeline or a special moment always is going to bring you back to like some period of that grief. 'Cause you allowed yourself to picture what your life would be like at that certain timeline. So the beginning of that makes me sad. The middle of it, I'm, proud of some of the strides that I've took to do some of the other things that I've said. I ended it saying, I hope we remember the breathing, balance, and power, and surrendering and slowing down. And I don't know that we've done that. I don't know that we've, since we left, really found a balance. And, definitely I don't know that we've found the power in slowing down lately. Just because we've talked about having slow time and feeling like, gosh, what do we have to do? So big picture, overall, I feel good. I'm just an emotional person, and I'm glad that we did it. I'm glad to look back at where we were then. And I do think that there's so many ways we've grown. And I will say the other thing that I was thinking about on my drive as I was thinking of the get tos is in order to look for I get to do this, you have to often get through something. You have to get through the things in order to find the get tos. And, for me, getting through the last year is I get to see what an incredible partner I have. I get to know that I can get through some of the hardest parts of life. I get to watch Dace grow up. I get to watch Lyra grow up. I get to have this loving community of friends and family in ways that I never even knew that they would show up for us without experiencing it like you thought, but you don't know. So for me, getting to do something often comes after you get through or as you're getting through something.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think that's the whole, I don't know what I took away from when you first said it to me. It's the word I used earlier. It's perspective. But to have perspective, you usually got to experience something, positive or negative, and to change your perspective on stuff. So I think you're really right. Mine, I'll read you the first line. Dalen, currently you've switched back into real world/work mode. identifying it. Like, it's good that I wrote that because I knew where headspace I was at. It's just like, you're not doing this exercise. You're like setting it off if you're not doing this exercise properly. I said, give yourself time and space to think, relax, and reflect. Kind of to your point. Not sure that happens that much. Sometimes, the reflecting and thinking, maybe the relaxing. No, definitely not in time. In time with enough thought. We talked about this in the pod a couple different times. Like wanting to spend time in that space is really hard. It's like that conscious state of not doing anything but like thinking or reflecting. It was about like prioritizing that, find it, value it, to protect it. None of that's really happened, which is a bit of a bummer. Mentions doing some of the exercises, like TRE exercises, which we talked about on the pod, but haven't done that. It's talks about slowing down, and everything is like not a process, like trying to everything has a process. Like so it's a good reminder that like we talked about these things, we've talked about them here, but actually implementing them and putting them into practice and making them part of life is a much harder step that ultimately I think has a better productivity for us, but have not really done that, which is a kind of, again, like a little bit of a bummer. Like how I wrote it and then what actually was in it is just a little, it's not surprising. It's only been 3 months, but that goes maybe back to the goal setting, because some of the stuff's in the goals like that I wrote and have thought about more since. Because I think it has to be true, as I truly prioritize for me to like, I will achieve it.
I think that's a good point and a good thing that we can maybe dive into further in the future is like the next step. Like we did the easy thing. We wrote goals. Yeah. What have we done with them? Yeah. We still haven't put them on our mirror. Yeah. We still haven't figured out the actionable plan to how are we doing these things. We did the easy thing. We wrote the letter to ourselves. Yeah. Like, did we do the hard things about what is the next step after you have it? I've talked about finding a therapist. I haven't found one. I still blame it on the lady that ghosted me when I emailed her. But
it's definitely her fault.
There's a lot of things that we've said we want to do, and we've done, I think, sometimes 2 steps beyond just that, sometimes 1 step, and sometimes just the first step. But like, what is taking that actual actionable next step, I think is a good thing. I'm grateful for this. I'm glad we did it, even if it was a hard day, and even if you weren't still in that same mindset. I think that there's still like growing and learning for us from it. And now we get to reflect on this and figure out how we use this moving forward. Yeah.
The last part I'll say about this is the handwriting's even worse than I thought. I mean, some of it is legitimately illegible. I'm guessing what I wrote, but I'm not really sure.
Maybe we can work on that before next week too.
I got enough things to work on. Handwriting's not going to be covered.
Give me a hug. Love you. Bye. See you guys next week. Bye.
Bye. She's a great singer.